Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Shindra Kessler and I'm an Office Director with the Mississippi Department of Education in the Office of Special Education. We're going to spend a few minutes today talking about our new resource, the Access for All Guide 2.0, that is coming out or is on our website currently. Access for All was originally released by the Mississippi Department of Education in 2019 as a guide for our struggling students. There was extensive training all over the state, and so we took you guys' feedback and are offering kind of an update to it, the Access for All 2.0, where we've included some new resources and some new sections to address the needs of all of our students across the state. As with all of our presentations with the Mississippi Department of Education, we start everything with our statewide goals. And as you'll see here, it's really important that we're including all of our students in every decision that we're making, including our students with disabilities, our gifted students, our EL students, any of our pre-K students, things like that. So if you'll notice, when we talk about the Access for All guide, we're really hitting on goal number 1, that making and ensuring our students are proficient and showing growth in all of their assessed areas. We're hitting goal number 2. We want to make sure that all of our students are college and career ready. We're also, like I said, we added an early childhood section to the Access for All, so we're hitting goal number 3. We're looking at goal number 4 by making sure that all of our teachers have the resources to be effective. And we're looking at goal number 6 to ensure that all of our schools are rated a C or higher. We also start all of our presentations with our vision and mission for the department. So we want to make sure that we're creating a world-class education system that gives our students the opportunity to be successful long-term. We want them to be successful independently living. We want them to be successful in college or in the workplace, wherever their path takes them after they leave us in this public school setting. So our mission for the department is to make sure we're providing that leadership through the appropriate policies, accountability systems, so that we prepare our students to compete globally. So y'all, let's get started. We're going to start off with an activity. I want everybody to cross your arms. Which arm did you put on top? Look, check it out. Take a second. Now I want you to switch your arms. How did that feel? What did that feel like to have to change them up? What was your reaction? And then y'all, how does this relate to teaching? So let me tell y'all, as you cross your arms, you put your comfortable arm on top. When I asked you to change it up, it was awkward. It was difficult. You had to think about it a little bit, but you eventually figured it out. So y'all, as we're looking at our teaching practices, how this relates is sometimes when we we are asked to change up what we're doing or to do something different. It's a little awkward at first. It takes some work. You have to think about it, but at the end of the day, you can do it and be successful in what you set out to do. Y'all, what is Access for All? What is AFA? We use that acronym a lot. The AFA does stand for Access for All, and we are bringing you guys the Access for All 2.0 version guide. The AFA, or Access for All guide, the purpose of it, y'all, is to provide administrators, teachers, support personnel, bus drivers, cafeteria staff, office staff, some guidance or some strategies and supports for supporting our struggling learners based off of some deficits that they may exhibit as a learner. So something you guys might be asking at this point is the Access for All guide for special education students or is it for general education students? And the answer is yes, it is a guide for all students. It offers strategies and supports to support all of our learners. And we're going to go over some different sections that it includes later on. But y'all think about the fact that every student has the potential to struggle at some point. The purpose of Access for All is to help a teacher or to provide a tool for that teacher to support that student as they need help in addressing those deficit areas and get them right back on track for all the rest of the learning that they're going to have. On the screen, you can see the 6 different areas that the Access for All Guide includes supports for. So y'all, there's supports for academic, physical, speech language, social emotional, behavioral, and organizational skills. So each of these sections, there are supports provided in. These are the original sections from AFA that they are continued in the Access for All 2.0 guide. These are like I said, the 6 areas that we are looking to provide supports in. As we were developing the original AFA, we were trying to figure out the why. Like, why have a guide for struggling students? Why have a guide to help teachers or, support their implementation of, their learning and things like that? As we were looking at that why and trying to develop a guide or a helpmate for those struggling students, we came across this. We came across kind of the sentiment that teachers didn't know what they could provide students. They didn't know what was appropriate. Like if they gave it to one student, did they have to give it to all the students in the classroom? Things like that. And so it was kind of a situation where we've kind of always done it this way, so that's just the way I'll continue to do it. But y'all, fair doesn't mean giving every student the same thing. It means giving every student what they need. So y'all, if you'll look at my friends in the first picture, everybody got the same box to watch the baseball game over the fence. The problem is the little friend on the end, he still can't see. He didn't get what he needed. So we gave everybody the same thing, which was fair, but we didn't give everybody what they needed. So in the second picture, you'll see the friend on the end got 2 boxes to help him. The friend in the middle got his one just like he needed, but the friend on the far side, he didn't need anything, so we didn't have to provide any supports for this area. So y'all, what Access for All Guide does is provide supports for you to help your kids where they need it. It's essentially to provide strategies and things that you can do tier 1 level in the classroom to support all of our kids. Let's take a second and do another quick activity so maybe you can kind of visualize what I'm talking about. So y'all, our goal for this activity is I'm going to assess your spelling. Your directions, I need you to pick up your pen and your pencil. Pause if you need to. Now I need you to move your pen or your pencil to your non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I would write with my left hand. I'm going to read a sentence and I want you to write the sentence. I'm going to assess your spelling based off of your sentence. Your sentence that I need you to write down is, I went to the store for milk. I went to the store for milk. If you need to pause. Finish writing your sentence. How'd you do? Did it take you longer with that non-dominant hand than it would your dominant hand? Did you spell all the words correctly? Did you get all of the words? I've had that situation in these trainings. Y'all, when we look at what we're trying to assess our students in, or we're trying to make sure that our students have mastered, sometimes we put other things in the way of really getting down to that goal or that assessment area. So y'all, I was trying to assess spelling. Chances are you spelled all those words correctly, but it took you an extraordinary amount of time, or it took you a lot of effort. We had a barrier, we struggled in like a physical area using that non-dominant hand. What if I'd have had you guys type those words and took away that struggling area of that non-dominant hand? What if I'd have pulled you aside and had you just say them out loud and spelled those words that I was looking for? No big deal, right? What the Access for All Guide does is offer these suggestions or offer these ways to help students navigate that area of struggle and really look at what we're trying to assess or trying to get down to what the goal of the lesson is to make sure that our students have mastered. So like I said earlier, we took our Access for All Guide, the original, and kind of tweaked it and updated it to bring you guys some new opportunities with it, some new sections, to address some different populations that we heard were in need as a result of the first one, and then we did the trainings and the feedback we received. As you can see, here's the new cover. We're very excited about it. We also, y'all, included sections for early childhood. We included sections for our gifted students. We included an English learner section, and we included a new way of laying out adaptations. So we removed the words accommodations and modifications because as people heard those, they automatically assumed it was for our special education students, and that's not the message we want to portray. The Access for All guide is for all of our students because everybody has the potential to struggle at some point or another. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to also explain that the Access for All guide is also now in an interactive web version. So you can print it out, you can put it in a PDF, folder or a PDF version like hard copy, but it's also on the website, and I'm going to show you how to get there here in a second. It's on the website, but it's interactive, so it flips like a magazine, and you can kind of click and follow the links to make sure that you guys have the support that you need as you're using it. I mentioned on that last slide that we had changed up the vocabulary a little bit by removing the terms that typically make people think of special education, and we're using the term adaptations. So let me introduce these so you'll know what you're looking at in the guide. So when we talk about adaptations, we can mean a change to the curriculum or the curricular adaptations. They can be instructional, environmental changes, or virtual changes. So that is another section that I didn't mention that we added is some virtual options. In this day and age, we know that virtual is in our lives to stay, and so it's how we can adapt the delivery online or in a hybrid method should we need to. You'll notice that each one has their own color as you're going through the guide. When we talk about adaptations or we provide an adaptation or a link to something, it will have a color-coded dot next to it so that you know this is a change in a curricular adaptation or this is a change in the environmental if it's a blue dot, things like that. So where can you find our new Access for All guide? If you'll go to MDE's website, which is just www.mdek12.org, if there's a search bar at the very top. If you'll search AFA or Access for All, it'll come up in that search band and it'll bring you to this landing page. AFA has its own landing page. It's also linked on several of our other websites like Elementary Ed and Special Ed and Secondary Ed, all link back to this site also. But you'll notice we left the 2019 version on here and it's got all of those resources, but we've added the update or the 2.0 version at the very top. It's also got my contact information. If you guys have any questions or need anything, you can also reach me at those two places. I want to leave y'all with this cartoon that kind of makes its way around the internet every so often that I always share because I loved it. So if you'll look, our student in the wheelchair says, "Can you please shovel the ramp?" And the guy with the shovel says, "Hold on, I'm shoveling the stairs. As soon as I'm done with the stairs, I'll shovel the ramp." And they all respond, "Well, if you'd shovel the ramp, we could all get in." If you think about this in terms of Access for All, some of the things that we do that are necessary to support our struggling students are going to really benefit all of our students in our class. So think about like if we develop a picture schedule because one of our students needs that visual support to kind of know what their day is going to look like on our bulletin board. All of your students are going to benefit from that because students like to see what's coming up next. They like to see that visual of if I do this, then this is next, that kind of thing. So y'all, what we do as teachers to help some of our struggling students may be beneficial to all of our students. So I realize that was a very quick and broad introduction to our Access for All 2.0, but like I said, we just wanted to give you guys an introduction to it, kind of talk through the new things that are added or the new supports that are included with it, and share it with you guys, show you where to get it. There will be additional training offered throughout this school year with Access for All, so be on the lookout for that. We're planning it in kind of a Canvas course and then maybe do an in-person at the end of the Canvas course to really look at kind of diving in and introduce you to it. So if you guys have any questions or anything or need anything, please reach out to me. Here's my email, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great day.